So I know this May, the Jack Bauer Power Hour 24 is coming back, but let's be honest with ourselves. We kind of already have it now. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. So Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is the prequel to the upcoming Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain. You play as Big Boss, you go extract this POW from this one camp that's pretty much Guantanamo Bay. Then you go and extract another one. You extract 2 POWs. In the end, that's really Ground Zeroes. And when I first got done with it, I was like, you rescue 2 people, that's it? $30, gone! Granted, it took me an hour and a half to do because, like, you know, you go around, you stealth kill people, you get seen, you gotta take them out, you stab people in the neck and shit. But in the end, if you wanted to, you could fly through this demo in 10 minutes. That's the first mission. When you beat the Ground Zeroes mission, you unlock a few other missions. So it doesn't end there, you get more gameplay to do, which is pretty much a showcase for the gameplay. You got your sneaking missions, you got your assassination missions, you got your sabotage missions, you got your action missions. You don't sneak around, you just blow shit up, which adds a lot of replay value. And I'm gonna personally go out there and say Ground Zeroes was made for Metal Gear Solid fans. No one who's not a Metal Gear Solid fan is gonna go out there and pay $30 for a long demo. But if you're a longtime Metal Gear Solid fan, let's be honest with ourselves. You have paid more than $30 for less of a demo. Yeah, you remember that shit. Zone of the Enders? You got that for the Metal Gear Solid 2 demo. Be honest with yourself. I did, and I played the shit out of the demo. So I don't sweat it. I'm like, oh, I've done more for less, doesn't matter. But if we're looking at gameplay, the gameplay in this game is everything I personally loved about the old Metal Gear Solids and everything I loved about Peace Walker combined into one. I feel like it's a segue between Peace Walker and Phantom Pain. It's this bridge. When you chokehold someone, you can choke them out, you can use them as a human shield, you can stab them. You ultimately have 3 options right out the gate. You can interrogate them for information, you can knock them out just by squeezing their neck, or you can stab them and kill them. You grab guys by the head, you face plant them. I like the CQC. It's like every Metal Gear Solid game has been taken into account to create this game, which plays about as well as a Metal Gear Solid game should. What I really like is when you get seen, it does that bam, and everything slows down. You have a couple seconds. It's all slow-mo. You can lock onto their head and shoot them, and they're like, I like that. I like the fact that when I get seen, it slows me down because you're supposed to be able to do that shit because you're not actually a Marine or a special operative in real life. We're just gamers. Big Boss, though, is like the greatest military soldier of all time. So yeah, that's how he sees you. He's like, oh, reflexes because I'm Big Boss. Cow. Kind of makes him superhuman and cool, and I like the fact that he's superhuman and cool. And Kiefer Sutherland as Big Boss's voice. I love the shit out of it. Because initially when I heard him, I'm like, that's Kiefer Sutherland. It's just a weird, it's different. But after the second audio recording tape that's the prelude to this game, you're like, no, I fall right into it. Why? I didn't even realize my brain was doing this until I heard Kiefer Sutherland voice Big Boss in this game. And Kiefer Sutherland voicing him makes him such a different character than Solid Snake. I've always known they're different characters, I get that, I know. David Hayter will always be Solid Snake, and for a lot of people, Big Boss. But Solid Snake and Big Boss are 2 completely different people. But when they're voiced by the same guy, it's hard to separate their ideology. Hearing Kiefer Sutherland voice Big Boss makes them feel like completely separate characters. It's supposed to feel that way. Big Boss will say stuff, you're like, I don't think Solid Snake would handle that situation like that. I love Kiefer Sutherland as Big Boss anytime he's like, guys, tell me where the nukes are, do you understand me? I'm like, David from Lost Boys, lay it down. And the graphics are really fucking good, so we should talk about that shit. Holy crap, the graphics in Ground Zeroes is one of those things where you play it and you're like, I've never seen a video game look this good. Metal Gear Solid on the PS4 completely validates buying a PS4. If nothing else comes out for it except Phantom Pain when it comes out, you'll be like, that's fine, I have Phantom Pain. This game looks so good, the gameplay is so solid. The bummer is you don't walk away from Ground Zeroes feeling fulfilled. It's not like you're like, ah, cool, that section is like a small game, now we'll move on to the next game. It leaves on such a cliffhanger, you're like, I just want to watch a couple more minutes. Just a couple, no? Alright, whatever, man. The bummer is it would have been great if the Ground Zeroes segment was packed into the Phantom Pain as part of the game. But the shit thing is the game of game making is we live in a world of DLC. And I don't blame Hideo Kojima or game makers for this at all. I don't think it's their call. I think it's honestly as simple as the studio's like, you want us to distribute that game? Awesome, you have hopes and dreams, I get that. You want your story out there? We get that. Alright, you're gonna have to make DLC. And so they have to play the game and make DLC. Now here's where the dividing factor comes in. $30 for this game. Yeah, you can argue other games that are $30. They're about 2 hours long, so it's no different. But it's all about what you do with the time given to you in the game. But you also can't help but compare this game to other Metal Gear Solid games. Like Peace Walker, you have like 120 missions for probably about $30. Ground Zeroes, you have 5 for about $30. Granted, the map in this game is really huge. There's a lot you can do. I mean, you can comb this thing over and you're like, I see new shit all the time. It's just so big, it's so vast, and so alive. This demo, if I'm gonna call it a demo, will keep you entertained for a long time. So if you're not not a Metal Gear Solid fan, if you haven't jumped on the Metal Gear Solid train yet, I would say there are other things out there of Metal Gear Solid quality that you can get for around 30 bucks that you should probably get before this. You want this one game that's short, or do you want the Metal Gear Solid HD collection that's 3 games, it's a lot longer? I'd say get that first. And that, for you guys who are not Metal Gear Solid fans, I would say this game is worth buying at sale price. Fact is, if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, you've already gotten this game. There's nothing I can tell you that you don't already know. This game looks great, it plays great, it's well acted by the actors, there's a lot of stuff to do. You're playing it right now, and you're gonna be playing it for many, many weeks to come. Short? Yeah. Sweet? Oh yeah. And like I said, you've paid more for less. For my fellow Metal Gear Solid fans out there, I will say Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes is worth buying at full price. 30 bucks is steep, but I don't have any regrets about it. Fact is, you're gonna play it for a lot longer than a couple hours. If you just line up gameplay, it's not 2 hours long, it's a lot of hours long. Alright, so Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes, have you played it? What did you think about it? What system did you get it on? Or are you gonna wait till it drops in price, or just wait for Phantom Pain? Whatever you think about any of it, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.